Hey, what is up and what is going on, everybody? It is Mayo and welcome back to my channel, guys. In today's video, I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about 5 mistakes that you actually make switching from controller to keyboard. This obviously only applies to people who have made that transition, obviously not people just starting off on keyboard, but I know a lot of you players who come from console or even come from controller on PC have always thought in the back of your mind, should I switch to keyboard and mouse? Is it worth it? I personally think it is worth switching to keyboard and mouse. There is way more room for improvement. Your skill cap is endless. The potential you can get to is endless. You can do so many more things and better on keyboard. But everyone expects to be able to make this switch, and it just happens so easily.
Oh my God,
so now I'm going to get
disgusting.
into some of the things that actually hurt you when you're switching over from controller to keyboard, and you need to be patient and also understand all of these things. So the first thing I want to talk about when you guys switch from controller to keyboard is actually doing the same thing over and over. Everyone switches from controller, and the first thing they want to do is try and get into creative, set up their binds, and just do some of the retakes that they were doing on controller. But what you guys don't realize is movement is completely different on keyboard than it is on controller. Like I said in an earlier video, you got to be moving WASD, which will place 3 to 4 of your fingers just to do that, while on controller it's just an individual thumb. It is occupying way more of your hand just to move around. So first thing I'm gonna say is don't get frustrated if your movement isn't the same. That is one of the hardest things on keyboard. Obviously things like editing is a lot easier, so you're gonna realize you can be a lot more consistent, a lot quicker at editing. But certain things like aim and movement are a lot harder. So you just need to be patient and don't sit there and do the same retakes over and over and over again. You get into there, you'll do 90s and 90s and 90s, and once you get them down, you just keep doing them. You got to mix it up, and you need to be able to try and do different things. Push your boundaries, push your limits. Once you get double edits down consistently and you can do 4 or 5 of them in a row, don't just keep doing that. Once you have the same 3-4 retakes in your arsenal, don't just keep doing those retakes. Learn new ones, push other things. But you don't want to just stay in creative, because everyone just thinks that doing the same retakes is going to get your muscle memory down, you're going to get fluent, you're going to get used to it. But no, that's going to only help you in creative. Now if you want to actually talk about the legitimate game and doing other things, you hop into an actual game, you're going to struggle. Maybe you can do those retakes in creative, but necessarily not going to be doing the same things in a regular game or as efficiently. Try doing some aim trainers. You need to practice your aim. That's super important switching to keyboard. Try and do some creative free builds in creative, but once you do them, do other ones. Also, go into arena. Practice in arena, because you know you're gonna jump into arena and you're gonna get stuck in certain situations where you can't do things because you don't know how to react to those situations, and it's so fast paced. Also, maybe do some movement courses, get your movement down. You need to practice every single style or specific thing you can do to improve yourself. Don't just sit in creative, it will be your biggest fault. Now the second thing I want to talk to is too many people spend too much time spectating. You need to play more solos, and I'm telling you, playing regular games will increase your ability to get better on keyboard way faster than playing creative, way faster than 1v1ing, way faster than playing trios or duos. You know, you think you're so bad on keyboard, so you need to play duos just to get carried by other people, but that's not helping you. That's literally stunting you, because you're gonna die in certain situations, obviously, because you're fresh and you're just started on keyboard. But then all of a sudden, when you die, you're just sitting there spectating your friend who's either playing on controller or keyboard that's been used to it for time, and you're wasting all that time. Until you're at the level where you feel comfortable on keyboard, you need to just purely play solos. As boring as it is, you need to get through that point where every single game you get into, if you die, you get right into a next one and you keep practicing. Another thing I want to mention, the third thing, is don't try and use pros settings and binds and think that you're automatically going to become the best player in the world. Everyone has got accustomed to their own binds and plays their own way because of what they use. Obviously, using someone else's binds, like beginner binds or something like that, or even a pros bind, just to get the general idea is good, but you need to mix and match stuff and see where you're slower at certain things. If you're editing slower, maybe change your edit bind around. If you can't pull your pickaxe out quick enough, maybe, you know, switch your pickaxe bind to a different button. You can't use the exact settings and binds that a pro uses, because it doesn't mean you're automatically going to get accustomed to it and be at their level. Everyone uses their own settings and binds, and you need to find your own perfect sensitivity, and binds. So just, you know, maybe copy someone's binds, but change them around as you feel. Don't be afraid to change your binds. You're still in the beginning stages. You need to realize that, you know, you're in your beginning stages. You just switched over. You got a lot of room to experiment. You're not going to be good right away. So don't be afraid to switch stuff up. Don't just get stuck and be like, oh, I got to use these. If I don't, I'm not going to be good. That's not how it works. Another thing I'm going to personally say, for me, personal experience, when I switched over to KeyBoard, I was in creative free building all the time, and I thought it was just a great idea. I was getting my builds back. I could edit good. I did some 1v1s with just a pump and an AR in my inventory, and it's easy to just kill people because, you know, it's not too bad. But as soon as I got into games, man, did I ever struggle. I was panicking under certain situations. I'd forget where certain buttons are and what they did, and I would mess up, and I wouldn't have time to get eats off without them taking my wall because I'd forget I'd have to hold the wall quick enough, and it was just so much room for error. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're switching to KeyBoard, you're going to need to put in at least 3 months of pubs and arenas before you even get into creative. Obviously, you know, warming up in creative for 30 minutes, 45 minutes before you get on is completely fine, but don't spend your entire time in creative and just free building and 1v1ing people. That should be about 10% of your day of you playing should be in creative. The rest of the time needs to be in game and getting your muscle memory down in every single aspect. I am telling you, you will not regret this, because you're not going to have enough muscle memory under pressure, and you can be in creative for 6 months and think you're good and you can do these crazy flashy retakes and look good, but as soon as you come into a game, the next guy who doesn't even know how to do half the retakes that you can is going to run you through like you're a bot. So make sure you're playing arenas and pubs and getting that muscle memory down and playing the actual game, because that's what's most important. Now, the last step I want to talk about that is super important is everyone switches to keyboard and mouse and thinks they're going to become some kind of fast editing god like Not Luke or Cultures or Rift in literally a few days to a month or 2 months or maybe even 3 months. That does not happen. I'm telling you this right now. If you scroll through Twitter and you see some pro saying, oh, 1 week keyboard progression and he's doing all these crack things, he is capping on your dome. He is capping so hard. There is nobody out there that can get to that top tier level in less than a 3-month span. And even if they can do a certain retake maybe and look good in a creative clip in 3-month span, they still are not going to be that good in game, and they're going to get rolled by so many other pros or controller players who are just 100% used to it, and it's just muscle memory down pat. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't get discouraged. If you want to get to one of those top tier levels on keyboard, it is going to take you a minimum of 6 months to a year, a bare minimum. I'm just over 1 year progression from controller to keyboard myself, and I still have loads of room to improve on. You know, I haven't played the most consistently, but at the end of the day, if I put all of my time in and I count all the hours I put in, it's probably about 8 months of consistent playing on keyboard, and I'm telling you, there is so much more room for improvement, and I only started getting really comfortable around the 5 to 6 month mark. So don't set yourself a deadline. You just got to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. It's going to be frustrating at first, but that's why you're switching, because you want to see how good you can actually get. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. A lot of things are capped. Anyways, guys, I hope these 5 mistakes helped you guys out, and I hope this video helped you out in as many ways as you can. If you guys want to see another tips video or some kind of tutorial or anything of that sort, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I might even touch base on that topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been your boy Mayo. I'm out. Peace.